there has to be something done with the training, bro. I'm not going to hold back right now in this conversation and be like, oh, let me kiss a little ass because I don't want to be rude. No, Derek James failed him, in my opinion. He failed him miserably, and he cannot bring that style to the 160, 168. You're telling me right now, after what Floyd said, oh, Spence should go up to 160, 168. Do you think that he's going to survive Bivol?
I am the greatest. I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass. You won't do shit. Just stick and move. Making you understand. Now stick and move. Keep your hands up.
All right, welcome to a reaction episode of Fight Week of Errol, Spence, and Crawford. Sam and I, we're going to go ahead and discuss what is next for Spence, what is next for Crawford. So Sam, take it away. Let's start with Errol Spence. I mean, he's been dragged through the mud since the end of that fight. What is next? If you're managing Spence, what is next for him?
If I was a manager of Spence, I understand the 154, 160, right? He did look trained, yes, but we're not going to use that as an excuse. Right. He's fought at 147. All right. There has to be something done with the training, bro. I'm not going to hold back right now in this conversation and be like, oh, let me kiss a little ass because I don't want to be rude. No, Derek James failed him, in my opinion. He failed him miserably, and he cannot bring that style to the 160, 168. You're telling me right now, after what Floyd said, oh, Spence should go up to 160, 168. Do you think that he's going to survive Bivol?
No.
Do you think he's going to survive Bivol, honestly? Do you think he's going to survive that? No, he's not. He's not. Dude, being one-dimensional fighter, you're not going to go far, man. That kind of beating, because I once used it. I used the term right after the fight of what Bud Crawford slaughtered Spence. I was rooting for Spence.
So was I.
I said this beating reminded me of the Trinidad Fernando Vargas beating. These type of beatings is hard to come back from. I mean, Bud took his soul.
Yeah.
If I was Spence's manager, and yes, you're gonna go to 160. They say you've been walking around 198 after the accident. You say you walk around at 180. All right, let's get you a 160. But I would not throw him in the darts at 168. There are just too many heavy hitters out there. And what about the training? What are we gonna do? We're gonna have to train him differently because he only comes forward.
Right.
How do you go in a fighting a boxer, puncher, crafty like Bud after what he just did to you in the second round, dropping you, with beautiful short hooks and all that,
right?
And the straight right hand. I mean, dude, you never change your style. Do you know what I mean? It's like I was telling you a while back about how Eric Morales in the first fight with Manny Pacquiao, where his style wasn't working. And in the middle of that fight, Eric Morales had to change to southpaw. And that's when he started, that's what fighters do. Elite fighters need to adapt. And Spence did not adapt. So it starts with his training. He needs to get trained better. Go ahead.
It's so interesting you say that because one of my pet peeves was always when a big mega fight would happen. One thing I always noticed was that one fighter would come in and automatically start fighting southpaw, or when he was an orthodox fighter, and it just threw off his opponent every single time.
Yeah,
I remember that. It was a popular trend in the teens in 2010 and on. And it was a popular trend, and I would have thought Errol Spence would have done something. I'm not saying for him to go southpaw.
Exactly.
I'm not saying for him to go southpaw, but at least create some kind of defense or offense to where he could keep Terrence Crawford at bay and make it at least a little bit more competitive, in my opinion. As far as what should Spence do next, I did a little thing on TikTok where I said he should go to 154. And the only reason why he's not, bro, and this sucks, bro. This is what sucks about boxing. It's because Jermell is occupying 154, and because they're stablemates, he's not going to challenge his homeboy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what bothers me. Jermell is going to 168 to fight Canelo for nothing. He has nothing at risk. He's going to go back to 154. I even think he tweeted a couple of weeks ago that I'm coming back to 154. I'm gonna keep my crown there. I could be wrong on that, but I'm more than sure I read that. So what does Errol Spence do? Go to 160, 168 for his friend? Because he doesn't want to fight Jermell, which would be a phenomenal money payday for them. To me, Errol Spence, I think he's done because 154, Jermell Charlo, I never bought into the Charlos, Jermell or Jamal. And 150, and the reason why Jermell wants to stay at 154 is because you and I have talked about this. There's no heavy hitters at 154. What do you got? You got Sue, you got Castano, you got Fundura. I mean, that's it. So, or Lubin, right?
Yeah,
but Jermell is going to take that spot. And what is Errol Spence going to do? Just stay at 147 and wait for Crawford? So he has no choice. I said when the fight happened, naturally, minutes after the fight, that he should go to 154, but because he is mismanaged, I agree with you, he is mismanaged. He'll probably jump into 160, and that'll be the end of him, man. That'll be the end of him. It will remind me of Pryor. Once Aaron Pryor lost, he couldn't rebound after that.
Yeah,
and I think that's what's going to happen with Errol Spence, in my opinion.
Yeah, but this was a terrible beating, though.
Yeah. Oh, that was horrendous. This was soul taking in the sense where I think Errol Spence is questioning.
Yeah.
If it's even worth boxing. You got to realize something, man. He came from a horrific car accident. His body changed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're saying if what you're saying is true, him jumping in weight 190, going all the way down, losing 50 pounds or whatever it is at a time, to be going through all those multiple surgeries, cutting up your body and so on, and then losing weight dramatically, gaining weight, yo-yo dieting, just like the way he is, he's skin and bones, first of all. Believe me, I wish I was in that kind of shape. Dude, his body is trash, if that is the case. His body does not, what he went through at 147 was coming sooner than later with that beatdown from Crawford. So for me, if I'm Spence, dude,
what do you do?
Go to 154 and beg Jermell, go to 160. Beg him so you can go to 154 and take those rings. Because I think he could beat Sue. I think he could beat I think he could beat all those guys easily, even with his conventional fighting style. So that's my thought. What do you think?
No, I agree 100%. But me right now thinking about Spence, I don't know if he'll pass a physical. I don't even think he'll pass the physical. There's already a lot of things, rumors going around, man, that, his slurring and, all this stuff with his jaw, that he lost all his teeth and they replaced his teeth. But it messed with, I think it's the equilibrium. And that's why he loses his balance on his feet. I mean, bro, he if I was Errol Spence, I would do exactly what you said. I would go 154 and stay there. I wouldn't move anymore. Maybe get an easy opponent at 160, but Mel is there. I think now we got. I think, in my opinion, if Mel goes and fights Bud, right? Pretty much Spence's career is over. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what is there left for Spence? Honestly, what is he gonna do? Go to 154? Get the rematch with Bud?
Spence has to pray to the gods that, in my opinion, that Jermell beats Canelo. Not only just beats him, but beats him easily. because that would give Jamel the ego to be like, hey man, I could go to 160.
Yeah.
If I did that to the king, if I did that to the king of boxing, then I should move on up, and I'll leave the belts to my homeboy Spence. So Spence better hope that Canelo doesn't show up to that fight, because that's the only way he'll go to 154, because he's not going to challenge his homeboy at all.
Fucking Bud threw a wrench into a lot of plans, bro. Now Jamal. What about Jamal now?
Well, Jamal, I mean, he has Caleb Plant problems, like you said. So his next 6 months is tied up in that. He's got to recover from whatever he's on and then fight Plant. So that's another year or two away. So we could talk about him next year. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and go to Crawford. What is next for Crawford? What do you do if you're Crawford?
I'd try to interrupt the whole Mel Canelo fight. But I mean, if it's a signed fight with Mel and Canelo, I mean, Bud's gonna have to just chill. In my opinion, I know age is against him. Time is against him. He's already 36, 37?
35, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. Well, he still has. I don't know the lifespan, but he's in great condition. Forget about the rematch, bro. Forget about the rematch with Spence. Spence is going to take him a whole year to recover. There's no way this rematch is going to happen in 6 months. I don't see it. I don't see it. What about with Boots? I have no idea. He's already made his comment about Boots. He already did. But I mean, I know Thurman's calling him up, but go ahead.
No, I think Crawford should stay at 147. There's plenty of good names at 147. I mean, like you said, they got Boots, they got Virgil Ortiz, they got Keith Thurman. He could do it again with Ugas. I mean, there's some good quality fights that 10 years from now, when you're looking back at Crawford's fighting record, when he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, you're like, man, he beat Spence, he beat Boots, he beat Ortiz, he beat Thurman, he beat everybody. Those are good, attractive names at 147.
I'd watch.
I think he should stay put. Yeah, I think he should stay put at 147. Maybe take a risk after Jamel, because I think Canelo's gonna give Jamel a body shot that he's never felt before, and he's gonna be peeing blood for the next 2 to 3 months after that. But I think, and then you throw in Jamel into that mix. Jamel fight. He beats Jamel. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. But that's a good resume. So if I was him, I would stay at 147. If I was Spence, 147 was where he was king at. But man, what is he gonna do, man? Spence has nowhere to go. While Crawford, I think he should just take on the newcomers. I think he should go after Boots and Ortiz and stuff like that. So that's what I think Crawford should do. What do you think Crawford should do?
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I mean, stay at 147, but get the male fight after the Canelo. But I mean, come on, bro. Canelo, in my opinion, Canelo, man, there was the time I told you, I don't even think this fight's going to happen. There's going to be some type of cancellation right before September 30th, in my opinion, coming from Mel. But if it happens, it happens. And I agree. I think, that Crawford, go get Thurman. Forget Ortiz. He's sick or something. I don't know what's going on with Ortiz. But go get Thurman. Go get, go get Boots. Screw it.
Right.
But I mean, he has mentioned something about Boots that, that Boots, that he wants a bigger fight that's going to generate more money. That's what Crawford said. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, how about meeting halfway and about the rumors of Tank and Crawford at 140?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Why not? I don't know, because that's such a big weight drain that Tank will never get the benefit of the doubt. It's kind of like with Ryan Garcia when he took on Tank. Everybody was saying that it wasn't an even fight because he took the dehydration.
Yeah.
But notice how they're not really saying the same thing for Spence. They're saying Spence, oh, what a big risk he did. But for Ryan Garcia, it's like, oh, he's oh, that's what he asked for. That's what he gets. But for Errol Spence, they're saying like, oh, well, they would have got at 154. It would have been a different fight. Maybe it would have, maybe it would have not.
Yeah.
But, boxing is so, for the casual fans, they just don't really understand the significance of weight, which is why I don't think Bud should go to 140, because I just think that's too much. And there's no leverage there. If Tank beats him, it's a dehydrated Crawford. So nobody will give him the authentic.
So 147. So 147 it is.
Well, look, you said Crawford clean out 147, beat Boots, beat everybody in that 147 ring. And then I wouldn't mind him going to 154. I think he could do 154 because there's Sue, there's Jamel. Right, there's Castano. That's easy stuff. I think he'll kill Castano. I think he will kill Sue. I think he will kill Charles. Who's the other guy? Fundora. I think he'll destroy all of them. So that would make him a 3-time undisputed champion of all time. At that point, you're putting him top 10, maybe even top 5 of all time. But I think he should wipe out 147, leave no doubts. I think he could do it. And I think he could go to 154, and I think he'll destroy Jamel also and take out everybody else in that division.
I agree 100%, man.
Yeah, maybe even take out Jamal at 160. Who knows? But
I agree.
Do you have any final words before we log out?
No, just, I hope that Spence makes a recovery, and I hope that he realizes, I'm sure he does, of course. I'm not, he's the boxer here. That he can't be one-dimensional, man. He can't. And the thought of going to 160, 168, that's what Floyd said. I think it's ridiculous. I honestly think it's ridiculous, in my opinion.
I'm with you too, man. For those people that are saying that we're biased, you and I both had Spence winning the fight.
Oh, I thought he was going to win by knockout.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a boring 10-2, 11-1 kind of fight.
Yeah.
And you and I were way wrong on that. Not even close. So I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I want Spence to recover, but in my heart of hearts, I think he should call it. His body's gone through so much with the wreck.
I agree.
And his constant yo-yo dieting. It's not good. And I'm more concerned about his overall health, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
But we'll leave it there, guys.
That's
so go ahead. Go to our YouTube, go to our TikTok, our Instagram, all under the Stick and Move podcast. If you want to listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, we're under the Stick and Move Fighting podcast. Go ahead and leave us comments there, replies, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So we'll leave it there, guys. And don't forget to stick and move, baby.
Peace out.
I am the greatest. I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass. You won't do shit. Stick and move. Waking you up and saying, now stick and move.